Hello Cobra Kai fans, welcome back to the channel. We have a new preview of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. And yes, we know we just got Part 2, but the Inside The Dojo video that was posted for Part 2 back in July, well, they've done another episode of that, but this time for Part 3, and it shows us what's coming in Part 3, and the cast talk a little bit about what's next. So there will be a spoiler warning, as some spoilers will be mentioned in this video. So I do recommend you watch the show first before coming to this video, just in case you haven't fully watched Part 2. But without further ado, if you haven't clicked off the video now, then we're going to get straight into it. So SHOUTOUT says about how they wrap up a lot of stories with all the characters, and they really do it in a really good way. And I definitely think that's hinting at his character, of course, the OGs, of course, Daniel and Johnny, and the other main kid characters, as the core four, Dimitri and Eli, are very important with wrapping up their stories, but also as they're just kids, there's so much to come with them. Vanessa says about how dreams can be finally achieved with some of the characters, and I definitely think some of the characters will be really hoping to do certain things, and we're going to find out what that is. And it's followed by a really quick glimpse of Robby fighting Axel, and there's so much to break down here. What we can see is that the tournament does resume, or happens in some capacity. We also see other dojos there, as even if you get knocked out the Sekai, you still have to be in attendance and watch, even if you don't make it all the way. Now, Robby and Axel's fight does resume. Not entirely sure what the score is at this point, and if Robby is still 5 points down to Axel, or they rescinded the points because of the result of the death of Quan in Part 2 in Barcelona at the semi-final stage, as the brawl that occurred might have just reset this fight. We also see a banner to the left which looks like the All Valley Sports Arena banner. We all know what that looks like. And we see the Sekai banner, so it looks like the All Valley Sports Arena is being used for the Sekai, which is very interesting. So what is going on with them going to the Valley? How do they get the fight there? Why aren't they continuing it in Barcelona? What happens that makes them not want to fight there anymore? Maybe they just can't because the host nation has not allowed to continue the tournament, but something back in the Valley will definitely change that. It's feeling like very classic All Valley, but also the stakes are very high because this is still technically the world tournament. Really curious what that will bring, and really cool to see Robby facing Axel. What a kick to the face by Robby to Axel as well. Really interesting what we see there. I'm definitely looking forward to what we see with Daniel as well, with that Miyagi storyline as John Hurwitz teases. And also we see a glimpse of Daniel being surrounded by a bunch of enemies dressed as skeletons, which is very OG Karate Kid, with Johnny Lawrence and his OG Cobra friends when they attacked Daniel, and Mr. Miyagi saved him. Really curious what's going on here. We see Daniel doing his classic Miyagi-Do techniques with paint the fence. Really cool, and I'm just really curious what is going on because Daniel's on his own. Is this perhaps another dream sequence? It could be a nightmare sequence, or is Miyagi-Do being attacked by a bunch of Cobra Kais, or even Silver has sent some menaces to try and hurt Daniel once again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at this point, but I'm really curious who it is and why is he on his own. This is really interesting. I'm sure Terry Silver or Kreese will be involved in this scene because Daniel's being swarmed here, but it's just a really specific one, and I'm really worried about him. Can't see Daniel fighting anyone else, but this could be his Mr. Miyagi moment, as Mr. Miyagi saved him in the first Karate Kid film against Johnny Lawrence when he was dressed as a skeleton just like his friends. So late at night, there's loads of smoke as well, as it seems, so something is going on. I really am curious what the scene could be. Again, I would not be surprised if this happens in the earlier stage of Part 3. There could be some absolute havoc going down. And we know Terry Silver comes down to the Valley because the Iron Dragons are literally there. Although we know Silver's reputation has gone so bad with Cobra Kai and everything that happened in the Valley, there could even be a point where he can't enter the Valley, because I still think Silver would still be here. Maybe not in this shot with Robby and Axel fighting, but I think he will be in this scene. Really looking forward to it. So that's the only glimpse we get of Part 3, but again, we are 3 months away, so we're not actually that far away from Part 3, and that's literally the end of the show. So we really need to enjoy this last few months of the show And really curious how they're going to end the stories, the character arcs, how the fights are going to go, and how important that is going to be to include Cobra Kai series. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of this new footage? Is there any theories, any details you noticed that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to Cobra Kai Nation if you're new. I'm going to be talking all about the show until it's over, even after that, with the Karate Kid Legends coming up and the future of the Miyagi-verse, and we'll see what that brings. So thank you for watching if you're a usual, and if you're new, thank you for tuning in for the first time. Stay tuned for more, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.
If you thought blah 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 was blah blah blah,